Okay. Para lang masundan ko. Prove that LAC, ito, equals ABM no orange if and only if ANC ito equals ALB. Ah,
Ito pong vertex sa right C po. Sorry, ano po.
yeah. A Mhm. Got it. Okay.
Clue lang, sir. Huwag niyo pong turo,
Sige, clue lang. Clue
Opo,
lang.
clue lang.
Grabe po, parang ano po, parang mga 5 seconds po. Okay.
Ganito. Oh, wait. Pili tayo ng ibang color. Gandahan natin ng color. Red.
Yung lava.
Ng lava? Okay,
Or yung
fine.
ano po yung isa, ice.
Okay, ice. Silver, asan ng ice? Galaxy, the ocean. Lava. Okay. Ito. Look at quadrilateral NGLB. Okay.
Ito nga po yung sinasabi ko nga po eh. Mukha po daw siyang cyclic.
Yes.
Hindi siya
Okay.
cyclic. Yun yung question ko po eh. Parang hindi naman yata daw po.
Yeah. Actually, ayun, if you look at that quadrilateral, if ANC equals ALB, what's the implication on that quadrilateral with lava vertices?
ANC, wait lang. Pa yung N. ANC, ALB. Wait. So, yung isa 180. So it is cyclic. Pag in the special case po na ano. Tama pala ako. I was on to something. Ano ko nga po, dapat maganda yung figure para maisip may bright ideas. Dapat na-observe ko po, parang pag nagdo-draw ako ng circle dito, parang it fits.
So ganito, assume mo let's say start with ANC equals ALB. Nung the blue angles are equal, it implies
BNC is supplementary to ALB.
Dali, i-drawing ko nga nung C para ito ng C. Okay. Alright. So kunwari ANC equals angle ALB. Implication?
BNC po is supplementary to ALB.
With BNC and ALB. Well, actually kasi yes. You have basically that's what you said, diba? Cyclic quadrilateral.
Opo.
Alright. So anyway, yun nga, I'll let you figure it out, but let me write down what we have. So BNGL is cyclic. Okay. Ngayon, if BNGL is cyclic, ano nasabi mo? BNG and GLB are supplementary.
So then BNGL is cyclic. So from there, ano ba? What can be said?
Ang kailangan mo hanapin na conclusion, a conclusion which involves the orange angles kasi you want to connect the blue pair with the orange pair.
There could be another ano pa bang other?
So sige, assuming BNGL is cyclic. Just because it's cyclic, marami kang pwede mo conclude but not all of them will be useful. What you have to find is a consequence of the cyclic quadrilateral that involves an orange angle.
Yes, so then ANBG kasi and saan na ba? NBG would equal NLG if NL was constructed.
But okay, NBG is equal to
NLG if NL is constructed.
yeah.
And then since if we can prove that NL is parallel to AC, which it seems like it is, then it will be obviously easy to prove that
But what are LMN?
NL and AC.
NL, the points NLM.
Wait, so NL are the midpoints. So that forms a midline.
Mhm.
The midline is always parallel to the other side, the
Mhm.
other side of the triangle, opposite of its angle, vertex angle.
Yeah.
So therefore, NLG is equal to LAF.
Yes.
So the orange equals NLG equals
Mhm.
LAC orange. So orange
Yeah.
equals orange.
Yes, that's it. Got it?
That's it po.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Kasi parang ano nung, so by equating the blue pairs, so we were able to conclude BNGL is cyclic. But and then while I was there, I was thinking NLM, they're not just any points, they're midpoints. So yeah, we got to be able to use that. But actually, that's my thought process kanina. Kasi those two blue angles, they're congruent. Their congruence means you have that cyclic quadrilateral. And then, yun nga, okay, if you have that cyclic quadrilateral, what does that imply about the orange angle? So, yeah, and then yeah, but and then so parang nasama sa story itong itong angle na to, okay, eh kailangan maging equal siya doon, in other words, but then that would mean the green would be parallel to AC, and they are. So that's it. Okay. Okay, so got it,
Yeah,
Joshua? Nice, no? Okay. Okay. So there's a slight correction that I wish to make here. To show using vectors that the angle bisectors of a triangle are acute and concurrent. Acute is obvious, so we just need to show that the angle bisectors are concurrent. Okay, so ito nang setup natin sa other side. What we wanted to do was first describe the angle bisector AD, that vector AD. Where D, I mean, we got to be able to say something about AD being the angle bisector. So, well, for one thing, ayan, AD is AB plus BD. Okay. The mistake that I made was that AB is, I wrote it down as A plus B, but that should have been B minus A. Okay. And then, ano nung ginawa natin sa BD? So if you recall, ano nangyari sa BD? Kasi BD and BC are parallel to each other. Okay, so just had to figure out how to write BD in terms of BC. So we claimed it's this particular relationship, but where did C over B plus C come from? It's by taking note of the fact that, well, because AD is an angle bisector, then that means these two segments resulting from how point D breaks down BC, those two segments are proportional to the sides C and B. So CK plus BK for some constant K, they should add up to A. So K is A over B plus C. So therefore, BD over BC is CK over A. And then using the fact that K is A over B plus C, so that ratio then ends up being C over B plus C. So that's the part of BD in segment BC. So that's why BD is B plus C. Well, this fraction times BC and vector BC C minus B. So, all right, ito yon. And then ang change lang naman dito, this will be minus A, and then this is gonna be minus A. And then if it helps, ganito, observe that vector AD is D minus A. All right. Again, recall na nung system that we're employing here is that sometimes it's helpful to identify a specific origin O. All right. But let's say we have a vector AD. Okay. And then vector AD is vector OD minus vector OA, but then shorthand, we write vector OD as D and vector OA as A. So of course that's what you mean. So ngayon mangyayari, D minus A equals the right side, negative A to start. So what we get therefore is that D is equal to, kasi this looks symmetric, B big B plus C small c over B plus C. Okay. So if you look at nung setup, parang ganito nung nangyari. Angle, so nung other endpoint of the angle bisector from A, it's equal to, if you look at that ratio, parang it's nice eh. Parang if you just point out that, if you just identify that, oh, it's between the vertices B and C, then you just multiply them by the lengths of the sides opposite, small b and small c, and then divide by the sum of those two sides, small b plus small c. And then therefore for letter F, we can easily write down F in a similar fashion as follows. Nung F is the endpoint of the angle bisector from C. And F is between vertices A and B. So we could write down small a vector A plus small b vector B, and then small a plus small b. So this is something that we can do for the other endpoint of an angle bisector. All right. Bibigyan lang kita ng isa pang hint. Kasi nung angle bisector, well, the in-center eye, or rather, right now we have defined I as the intersection of those two angle bisectors, AD and CF. What we want to do is show that I is on the angle bisector through B. Okay, but observe that if you now look at, oh, get it out, AFC,
AFC. Mhm.
AFC, no I, nandito siya. But then AI is on the line bisecting A. So therefore, on this triangle, we can apply nung formula that we were able to figure out. Okay, thinking of I as the endpoint of the angle bisector from A in triangle AFC. So similarly, I is equal to, so I don't know, it's between the vertices F and C. So something multiplied to F, and then something multiplied to C. Ang i-multiply natin sa C, the length of the side opposite it, so it's how long AF is. And then what we're going to multiply to F is the side opposite it, which is AC, which happens to be B. So in the denominator, B plus the length of AF. Tapos what you could do is, you know what, AF, hey, in the same way that we were able to express BD, which is a segment out of that angle bisector D, and now we're interested in AF. Pero di ba AF is one of the segments that CF produces on segment AB. So, ayan, check mo yan. So anyway, I've given as much hints from last time. So try to continue. And besides, there are some other problems pa rin naman that you can try out. These two tries. Okay. But before we go to the next page, after class, there was a realization that I made. on one of the problems that we solved because here, okay, show that the midpoints of the four sides of a quadrilateral form a parallelogram. Okay. So ganito, no? So we drew A, B, C, D on a plane. Pero di ba, if you have three distinct points which are not collinear, they determine a unique plane.
So one
And
of the
then,
points po can be skew.
oh yeah, parang, what if you look at D? D does not have to be on the plane of ABC. And it seems like what we just did here proved that EFGH is a parallelogram. I think it's still going to be true even if D.
What if
Wait,
you try po the GeoGebra 3
yeah,
dimension?
actually that's what, ayun. Try natin, GeoGebra. So, no A, B, C, let's put them.
Yung ano po, yun po yung panalo ng GeoGebra over Desmos. 3 dimension.
Share. View
So if that is
3D.
if that is true po, does it extend to other polygons?
Well, tignan natin nung,
Ala,
kasi,
tang tang
ito, ito.
The
Ito,
first time po, the
three-dimensional.
first time we
Okay,
meron kaya
A,
dimensional
first
GeoGebra.
time ba natin mag three-dimensional sa GeoGebra? Ayan ang A. Tapos nung B, pili lang tayo ng point sa um, x-axis. So, ayan. B. And then C, anything on the x, y plane. So wait, z equals 0. So that's the plane. And then let's choose any point on that plane. Ayan. So you know point C. It's anywhere there. Okay. And then now let's choose a point D which is just in this general three-dimensional space. Ayan.
Why is the plane po parang is
Ano?
like
The effect niya? I don't know. Okay. Pero ito.
pero
So,
still in the XY plane po?
ano yan?
Still in the XY plane.
Parang, are you talking about nung why it looks like that?
Oo, baka siguro dalawang planes.
No, isang plane lang eh kasi ito z equals 0. Kasi merong ano na talaga nung meron talaga by default. Actually, sige, maybe I don't need to show the XY plane kasi andito na naman siya. Or I suppose I could hide nung plane and then ayan. Parang ganun pa rin. Anyways, ayan. So hindi siya dalawa, isa na lang siya.
Apo.
And then the third point, paano ba?
Where on the
Just a point. Ayan. All right, D. Ay, nasa XY plane siya.
hindi po.
Kasi the Z coordinate of point D is 0 eh. So gusto siyang iangat.
What if you just change the ano po? Change the Z coordinate of
Change the Z coordinate. Pero sige. Ito na. Tapos dito lang hahanap ng point.
Daya po yan.
Pero ito, per name, ito nung point D. Alright.
That is illegal according to the Geneva Convention.
Okay, fine. It's not. Alright, so ito, kunin natin nung midpoint ng A, B. So, midpoint, ito yata. E is the midpoint of A, B. And then F is the midpoint of B, C. And then G is the midpoint of another points A,
I
B,
think
B, C,
it works po.
C, D.
Just by ano lang.
Just by looking at it, no? All right, and then finally E, F, G, H. H is the midpoint of the A. Ayan, and then
Pwede na
if,
pwede yung plane nun. Baka
if
are
that
they
if
all really coplanar?
ayan, if sige nga try natin connect E, F, G, H. Then it worked. We were able to form a polygon out of them.
No way.
Diba? Ayan. Kahit pa i-move natin si C somewhere else. So parallelogram talaga nung na-form natin. And so, ang galing no, even if A, B, C, D are not coplanar, pero when you get the midpoints, they are coplanar. Parang the fact that you have a parallelogram forces them to be coplanar. So parang also on one hand, it's remarkable that not only are they coplanar, these midpoints, they form a parallelogram. So ang galing, even if it's in a three-dimensional space.
Eh kung nasa 4 dimensions na po.
Then hindi na natin ma-illustrate. Well, kunwari kung maglalagay tayo ng kasi ganito, no? For a parallelogram, kailangan lang natin two opposite vectors are equal. So, actually, what if, sige nga, n-dimensional space. Sulat natin, kasi it's the same midpoint formula is going to work. So, sige, try natin. So, say we have A. A is, ayan, AI. B is BI. So, shorthand ito for, A1, A2, onwards to A sub N. C is CI, and then D is DI. So, ibig sabihin, E is AI plus BI over 2, and then F is BI plus CI over 2. G is CI plus DI over 2. And then H is DI plus AI over 2. So meron tayong yan, E, F, G, H kasi we're going around. Let's compare EF, vectors EF and HG. Vector EF will be mangyayari. So from F minus what we get from E. So BI plus CI minus AI plus BI over 2. Well, you can already immediately see what's going to cancel. We're going to get CI minus AI over 2. And then EF, HG is next. But then mangyayari, you're going to get this minus that. The DIs will disappear. Oh, wait. G, we're looking at H going to G. So from G minus the 1 from H. Oh, ganun din. CI minus AI over 2. So ibig sabihin, EF is the same as the vector HG. That's enough. Therefore, EFGH is a parallelogram.
Why? This has to be, and this is a crazy po. Cross-dimensional, parallelogram.
So even if we can't draw because we are in 5-dimensional space, the midpoints apparently still form a parallelogram. Wow. All right. So the 4 points don't even have to be coplanar or basta. They just in general. So I suppose tawag na doon instead of a plane, a hyperplane or whatever. But actually the locations do not. Parang din what this shows is that say even if we are on a plane, di ba? The relative positions don't matter. Pwedeng ang kahit, di ba? Kahit hindi convex quadrilateral. And we already argued. And akala natin that's the most that we could bring it to. The ABCD doesn't have to be convex quadrilateral, but it turns out, hey, they don't even have to be coplanar.
They don't even have to be in the same dimension.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't have to be in 3-dimensional space.
Opo.
All right. Okay, so let's do more vector geometry problems. the latest operation that I was able to talk about was the dot product, and dot multiplication in a lot of ways behaves like multiplication. So I don't know if I wrote down property. So basically, yun nga, they act well, when we take dot products between vectors. In a lot of ways, they behave like multiplication of algebraic expressions. You have the distributive property and such. But ito special. A dot A is the square of the length of A. All right, so I'm just about to start with this page, March 11.
Yay! We witnessed the birth of a page.
Oh, parang, is this, paano to next time we're gonna meet March 111. March 1,
No.
March 11. Okay, let's meet again next time on March 111. Okay. So we have looked into, kasi medians are concurrent. And then next, the angle bisectors, I leave that up to you.
Or the center bone.
Or to center, altitudes and perpendicular bisectors. Okay. So ano muna tayo? Orthocenter. Okay. Show using vectors that the altitudes of a triangle are concurrent. So let's start with an arbitrary triangle. Let triangle ABC have altitudes. Drawing tayo ng two altitudes. These two altitudes are sure to, we're going to look at the intersection of two altitudes. So then the goal becomes show that the third altitude contains their point of intersection. Okay, but when we conceptualize when we try to come up with a proof, we have to make sure we are able to cover all situations. So for instance, kasi, one thing that's tricky about the orthocenter, pwede siyang lumabas sa triangle eh. Nung centroid, always inside the triangle. Angle bisector, always inside the triangle. Kasi the medians, inside the triangle. The angle bisector is always inside the triangle. But the perpendicular bisector, it can go out. So the circumcenter can go outside the triangle, also altitudes. All right. So the drawing. Okay, here.
Are there other special lines po that can go outside of the triangle?
Well, I mean, of course, if you talk about, well, I think, are there other segments, special triangle segments that will go outside the triangle? I'm sure meron. Wait, if we're talking about Chevian, actually, yeah, the external angle bisectors.
Bro,
Of course.
ito po yung cheating.
Yeah, cheating. Wala, di mo sinabi. Okay, let ABC have altitudes. Let's call them A, B, D, E, F. Altitudes, BF, and CE. Para lang ma-make sure natin we're able to cover everything sa drawing tayo ng obtuse angle. So, kunwari ito ng B. So, BE, ayun, and then this is AC. Okay, so we have BE and CF. Okay. So actually, yung CF lalabas din eh. CF. So we will talk about their intersection H. So it doesn't have to be the segments themselves, but the lines possibly. Okay. Let lines BF and CE intersect at H. Okay. Not an entirely good drawing. All right. So ngayon, what do we have to show? We have to show that H is on the third altitude. Okay. I suppose we could drop the we could drop the altitude from A, or at least the segment from A passing through H, tapos call it D, and then show that ADC or ADB is a right angle. All right. Of course, we could do that, but ganito, to show that AH is part of an altitude, ultimately, ang kailangan lang natin gawin is to do the following. Show that
Actually, is that even necessary na po? Kasi pag ano, the orthocenter of BHC is A.
the orthocenter of BHC is A. So are you talking about the other the other figure where you have an obtuse angle?
So yung ano naman po yung sa ano naman for yung right figure po.
Mhm.
The orthocenter so it means the orthocenter of BHC naman is at A.
Oo. So parang ano nung the obtuse angle at A, and this case where you have an acute angle at A, parang ano they're two sides of the same coin.
Abo.
Well, kasi I don't plan naman to actually handle these two cases separately. Kasi whether it's the first or second figure, we can see in both cases, all we need to do is show that AH and BC are perpendicular. Okay, ultimately, yun ang kailangan gawin, whether it's the first or second configuration. Show that AH and BC are perpendicular. Pero using vectors, well, or in other words, the vector AH and the vector BC are perpendicular. But how can we show that the two vectors are perpendicular?
Mhm.
Okay, so when you have 0 for the dot product, okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We will show that AH dot BC is equal to 0. Or in other words, H minus A dot C minus B is equal to 0. So ito nung goal natin. Now, we have to use the fact that H is on the two altitudes from B and C. Okay. Since H is on the altitudes BF and CE, so ibig sabihin, from either figure, okay, if you look at itong CF, or actually even CH, perpendicular siya sa side AB. Okay, and also, and because you have that perpendicularity, that means there is a dot product that can be concluded from there. Wait, BF, of course, I meant here, sandali, wrong labels. The altitudes are BE and CF. So ibig sabihin, BH dot the other side CA is equal to 0, and we have the other perpendicular pair naman, CH and AB. CH dot AB equal to 0. So we can consider these two as givens. Okay, these imply, so number one, H minus B dot A minus C equals 0, and H minus C dot B minus A equals 0. So these two equations, they're given. Equation 1 and equation 2, and we hope that we can use them to prove equation star. Okay. Um, let's rewrite equation 1. H dot A. So this is why I went back to those properties of the dot product to remind ourselves that when we take the dot product of sums or differences, we can carry out expansions like we are multiplying binomials or algebraic expressions. H dot A minus H dot C minus B dot A plus B dot C equals 0. Then likewise here, H dot B minus H dot A minus C dot B plus C dot A equals 0. Okay. Let's see what we're gonna get out of star. H minus A dot C minus B. We're gonna get H dot C and then minus A dot C. So I don't know. Well, how about I do it in this order? Okay. So H dot C and then H dot B. So minus H dot B. And finally, ito, minus A dot C. Then finally, plus A dot B. So we want to show that these four dot products yield 0. 2 minutes. Hold on. Why don't you think about this and see if you can figure it out? 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. When the. Add them all together po. Mhm.
All right. Do you think there's anything we can do here?
If you add all of them together po, it will equal 0.
So and the fact that the first door equals 0 equal to 0, so that means ayun.
If
So
all
that means
add up, if all
the
of them,
last expression must also be 0.
no po. If all of them still add up to 0, then the last expression must also be 0.
Yeah. Or all right. So actually, that's it. That's precisely it. So that means AH and BC are perpendicular. So that means if you extend AH, when it meets BC, a 90-degree angle must be made, which means H is also on the altitude from A. Ayan. So, ayan, using the dot product. So the thing with vectors is sometimes pwede mo siyang gawing mechanical. Alright, but for me, it's just another way of proving something. And for me, it's
Vectors are
quite
like
cute.
geometry.
Although parang medyo cheating ba? Did you feel it's cheating? Okay. Depende. Ito, let me just wrap up at least how it's been written down. We have HC, ito, H dot C, and wait, and there, I'm trying to, all right, ano lang, ganito. So, okay nung ano nung sinabi mo. All right, ito, here you have, let's call this P, Q, R. Okay. Observe that P plus Q plus R equals 0. Check that. H dot A minus H dot A minus H dot C minus B dot A dot B dot C minus C dot B, H dot B minus H dot B, C dot A minus A dot C. All right. So no one's left. Everybody accounted for. Since P equals Q equals 0, oh,
Yes.
then, okay. So,
May lumabas po may lumabas po.
oh, better ba? Oh, yeah.
Kaluluwa niyo po, kaluluwa.
Oo, meron lumabas. Alright. Wala naman eh. Alright. Check, ikaw lang naman eh. I don't care. Oh. Okay. So, altitudes, paano naman ang, ano pa nung pwede? You could try out. How about ikaw naman nung, try mo lang. Nung, ano pa ba kulang? Try the circumcenter.
Try ano po, try the 42,000 centers. Prove that they can
Oh, using vectors. Okay.
vectors. Yan po yung ultimate schoolwork.
Oh.
All for that 42,069 69 centers known to man are concurrent using vector.
ng mga natural point using vectors. Then, copy natin ng ano nung try, itsura ng try. Then, where is that?
Pero at
Ito,
least
ito.
po yung mental yung mental Pavlov reflex from yung secondary color quadrilateral is gone.
What's gone? Nung sa...
Yung Pavlov reflex po ng itong secondary color quadrilateral.
wala na. Okay. Wala nang effect. Okay.
Ito na po yung new.
Ito na. Okay. Pinapalitan, confusing na nung signals pa. Iba-iba na. Wala nang consistency. Alright. Try. Okay.
Try po may mga unicorn and rainbow.
Palitan natin ng colors. Ayan. Ayan. Or, ayan. Okay. Try. I will... Okay. Alright. Ayan. Try. Show using vectors. Wait. Well, because this is special. Sige, ito. Show using, I don't know, what do you say? Show using vectors that the perpendicular bisectors of a triangle are concurrent. So how about instead of assigning a special scheme for the label, let's apply it to the entire statement. Okay, yung entire statement lalagay sa heart or yung entire statement nung papalitan ng color. Sige, ganun gagawin natin
May mga unicorn, may mga rainbow, may mga
Oh my gosh.
may mga lollipop po sa mga grass.
Okay, fine. Okay, kung saan tayo masaya. Okay. That's gonna be really fun.
False illusion po of false illusion of fun.
Ito, let's try this example.
Example.
So solve natin, although guided. So points D and E are on sides AC and AB of triangle ABC respectively. And then suppose DE and BC are not parallel. Suppose F and G are points of segments BC and ED respectively. Okay, madami tayong mga drawing mamaya. Such that BF over FC equals EG over GD equals, di pa pala tapos, BE over CD. Show that GF is parallel to the angle bisector of angle BAC. Wow, daming happening drawing natin. Ay, click ko ng video. Okay. So, AC and AB, kung saan pinipili si D, so parang among the three vertices, A nung special place. So let's draw so that A is above, so that B and C are below. Medyo magkapantay si B and C. Okay. And then D and E are chosen on sides AC and AB. Tapos sabi lang, DE and BC, if BC is horizontal, so DE should not be parallel. So basta DE is not horizontal. So dito si D, and then E is on, oh wait, hold on. D is on AC, E is on AB. Ayan. F and G are on BC and ED respectively. So andito si F, and then andito din si G. Let's say G is here, and then sa CF, andito banda si F. So ang dapat ma-satisfy BF, so ng ratio nito, BF over FC equals EG over GD, but what ratio are they going to follow? Nung relationship of BE over CD. Okay. So show that GF is parallel to the angle bisector of BAC. So, wait, parang, okay. So, kunwari ito ng angle bisector. Ayan. Ayan, so andito ng nung in-center kunwari.
It's ano po, very accurate po na ano.
Oo nga, pinilit. Ganito. So, well, because I'm presenting this as an example under the discussion on vectors, then that means we're gonna prove this using vectors. Alam ka namang congruence modulo 5 or some other thing. So, syempre, vectors. Now, kasi we are able to characterize certain traits like, let's say, perpendicularity. Between vectors, that means the dot product is 0. But if vectors are parallel, ano ibig sabihin nun? Like when you see two vectors, how would you know they're parallel? Halimbawa ito, 2, 3, 5, and then 8, 11, 20. Are they parallel or not?
If their slope is the same po. But how do you know the slope is the same?
Depende kasi, these are not points, ha? These are not points. These are vectors. So if you think of 2, 3, 5, you can think of that as A to B, and then the difference of the coordinates are 2, 3, and 5 respectively. Tapos ito, C and D, the difference of the coordinates are 8, 11, and 20. Ano ba ganito? Alright. So, Joshua, consider the vectors. Ito. The vectors 2, 3 versus 4, 6. So these are vectors on the plane. And as we pointed out last time, as far as vectors are concerned, their location is not relevant because you could draw them anywhere else. But if you draw them starting from the origin, then that means the point 2, 3 is the terminal point. So ito nung vector 2, 3. But then if you draw the vector 4, 6, 1, 2, and then natin 4, 5, 6. So the tip is gonna be the point with coordinates 4, 6. So this would be the vector 4, 6. Are the vectors parallel?
Yes.
And they're parallel because even without drawing them, how do we know they're parallel? If you just look at the components 2, 3, and 4, 6, they are parallel because the components are
multiples.
Yeah, the components are multiples of each other. Ayun. So di ba, ano naman, kunwari, i-multiply mo ng negative. -2, -3, then that will be a vector pointing in the opposite direction, but still parallel. Okay? So vectors are parallel if and only if they are multiples of each other. If you look at 2, 3, 5, and 8, 11, 20, are they parallel or not? Ito, the ones in blue. Parallel or not?
No.
Kasi?
They're not multiples.
Okay, ano ang pwedeng baguhin isang number para maging parallel sila?
11 po.
Change it to?
Change it to 26.
I think I regret asking. So change 11 to what? To 13?
Change 11 po to I think it's a number that 2 times 6. I forgot.
Okay, sure. All right. At least
It's 10 plus 2 or 11.
Alright. That works. So, ayun. Okay. So vectors are parallel if they're multiples of each other. So ito, so our goal now is to show that we want to find expressions for G, F, and AI. and then show that they are multiples of each other. And that will be enough. Kasi otherwise, gagawin natin, if we're gonna show their parallel, parang ano eh, mga magdodrawing tayo ng angles, I suppose that can be done. Draw angles somewhere. Pero kasi, there's a,
Polar coordinates.
ano yan?
Polar coordinates.
Pwede din. Pero we're gonna have to assign an origin here. Ganito. In the past, we have not, in past examples, we have not been assigning an origin. And that's because, halimbawa, if you look at A, B, C kasi, parang the standing of A, B, and C, they're at equal levels eh. Parang no one is more significant among the three vertices. But here, between the three vertices A, B, and C, B and C are on the same footing. So maybe if we're gonna choose one of the vertices as origin, A would be a likely choice.
A is more important po because the first letter of the English alphabet.
Yes. Oh, so kung kunwari, this is triangle BCD, wala na. Okay. Hindi na natin masasolve if the triangle is BCD.
If the triangle is BCD po, I would be clueless and spend 5 hours and that's 5 hours.
Yeah, okay. But if it's triangle ABC, then in 2 minutes we're gonna be done, right? Just because it has vertex A. Wait, why did everything move there to the left?
Yun po yung pwedeng troll. Let blank. Blank lang po, kala niyo po parang natanggal po.
Yeah, so you done. Is this important or not?
Let BCD po, tapos yung parang may space po, parang it would seem like there was an A written. But
oh no, we don't know.
Triangle, triangle BCD. So, malilito po yung student. Where is A? Epic troll.
Right. Let me move. And then go back to. Ayan. Nasa gitna na. Okay. So, nung fact that we're going to be using so fact. Okay. Vectors are parallel if and only if they are scalar multiples of each other. Okay. Ganito. Apparently, the choice of E or D is irrelevant. Okay? So, gawin natin, pili tayo ng arbitrary way of representing E and D. And as I hinted at earlier, okay, we will choose A as the origin. Okay, let A be the origin. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, if you compare AE and AB, well, definitely they're parallel, no? Ng vectors AE and AB. But then, in fact, AE is shorter. So, you can write down the scalar multiple. Let's say we're trying to write AE in terms of AB. So, let's say the multiple is R. But then, because AE is shorter, then at least we know R is between 0 and 1. If R is 1, ibig sabihin, E and B are the same. If R is greater than 1, then E would go beyond B. So ito, for what it's worth, it's between 0 and 1. And then we can also do the same with D. But also because A is the origin, then we can write this as just R times B. So mas simple. Okay. Okay. There exist numbers R and S in 0, 1 such that E equals RB and D equals SC. All right. Okay. Nung BE over CD, so basically we can think of R as, ano, R is the ratio AE over AB, and then S is the ratio AD over AC. The small part versus the whole. Okay, so I'm thinking, nung BE over CD, pwede din natin silang i-express in terms of the size of the triangle. All right, so let's have a look at BE over CD. So why am I going back to blue? Green ulit tayo kasi nasimulan ko na yung solution using green. Okay. Paano kaya to? Sige, sige Joshua. BE. Can you give me what BE, how can we represent BE kaya? BE, well maybe sige ganito lang. BE over AB.
BE over AB
Yeah, just the length.
equals, may similar, ano ba? May similar triangles ba dito?
Using the fact that ito, R is AE over AB.
BE over AB. So BE over AB is equal to 1 minus this one.
So 1 minus,
1 minus R.
yeah, 1 minus R. All right, and so nung BE, so para magka-come up tayo ng expression for BE, well, but then observe that AB is C. So BE is C times 1 minus R. Okay, tapos how about kung CD naman? CD over AC is, ano naman to?
1 minus, 1 minus S.
All right, 1 minus S. So that means CD is ano ng AC, that's small b, b times 1 minus S. All right. So therefore, we have a way of representing these exactly. So therefore, BF over FC equals EG over GD. The length of BE is C times 1 minus R, and then CD is B times 1 minus S. So kumbaga, the values of R and S show us where E and D are going to be placed, and they also show us eventually where F and G are going to be placed because the ratio of BF over FC has to be this, and the ratio of EG and GD has to be this. Very good, no? We want to describe vector FG, so therefore we want to be able to represent F and G. Tapos, nung vector FG, this would be G minus F. So we want to figure out, okay, how can we write G and also F? We can do that from here with the two check marks. I suppose we could get G from that. And then similarly, from the first ratio BF over FC, we can figure out what F is. All right. Start tayo sa, the fact that BF over FC follows that ratio. Okay, I'm thinking that no BF as a vector, okay, is the ratio BF over BC, ito, ratio of the lengths times the vector BC. Tama, di ba? Let's say itong fraction na to is 1/2, then that would mean vector BF is half vector BC corresponding to, in that scenario, F being the midpoint. But in general, BF over BC doesn't have to be 1/2. Although what we have here is ano nung BF over FC. Ano kaya natin ma-figure out nung BF over FC? Parang ganito. The ratio of BF over FC is itong ratio nga na to. So that means ito. We can think of this as C times 1 minus R times K. And this guy is B times 1 minus S times K. And then those two segments, C times 1 minus RK plus B times 1 minus SK, that side BC, whose length is A. So that means K is, so we can write it down. Let me move down here. So that means K is A over C times 1 minus R plus B times 1 minus S. So at this point, parang madaming mga algebra lang nung ginagawa natin. So that means, yun, that's what K would be. So ibig sabihin, BF is C 1 minus R, and then the value of K right, okay, C times 1 minus, pero kasi I'm trying to figure out what's that equal to. So I need BF over BC pala. So BF is C times 1 minus RK, and then BC is A. And then the replacement for K over A, so ayan na, from above, C 1 minus R plus B 1 minus S. Okay, so this is going to be a bit clunky. And then the vector BC. Oh boy. Okay, so that's BF. Okay, but what we want is an expression for F. F minus B equals, tuwagin muna natin tong J for Joshua. J times
G.
for Joshua.
Why Joshua po? Who's Joshua?
No one important.
I think he's a loser. Do you know?
Oh,
You know,
to what degree? To the 10th degree or to the Googleplex degree?
to the ano po, to the
Ano?
to the Aleph null, Aleph null,
Aleph null degree. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. Aleph null, but at least it's countable. So anyway, continue natin here. F is B plus J times C minus B. Oh, this is nice because this allows us to write F as an expression in terms of B and C, which is nice because F is between B and C. It's actually 1 minus J times B plus J times C. Okay? Pero, we already have the constant J. So, yun ilalagay beside C. So, 1 minus J, that would be, ang numerator niya, B times 1 minus S. Ito, point B. And then, yung J naman, C times 1 minus R, point C. And then, it's the same denominator, C times 1 minus R plus B times 1 minus S. So that's F. Okay. Medyo masalimuot. Okay. So it feels like we have to do something similar for G. Okay, want to kasi we want to get vector G Fn. So we already have an expression for F. We also want to get a similar expression for G. Fortunately, we don't have to start from scratch. Kasi parang ganito, no? If you look at the situation between A, B, C, ito, A, B, C, on side BC, there's that special point F. And then if you compare that with triangle A, wait, a different color, lava, okay, AED, okay, on the side opposite A, there's a special point G. But then, buti na lang dun sa definition natin, the ratio of BF to FC is the same as the ratio of EG to GD. So ibig sabihin, our expression for G should be very similar to the expression of F. All we gotta do is replace vertex B by vertex E and replace vertex C by vertex D. And then the ratios, the numbers S and R would be the same, pero ang papalitan natin nung side na B
SNR po,
and also nung side na C. Okay? Right?
Abo.
Okay, so similarly, ito, ibang color naman. So definitely not confusing. G is equal to, okay, nung small b na ginamit natin, this is the side opposite angle B in triangle ABC. But then in that small triangle ADE, okay, the side opposite vertex E is AD. The side opposite vertex D is AE. So ano mga gagamitin natin? So ano mo multiply natin sa E?
This is ano po, this is geometry, but then it turned but it's actually only algebra and there's no
Oo nga, algebra lang eh. Alright. So
it's
ito,
geometry without geometry.
okay, geometry without geometry. Okay. And then the other side, the other one naman is D, and then 1 minus R, and then the side opposite vertex D is AE. The length of AE. And then divided by ayan, length of AD times 1 minus S plus the length of AE times 1 minus R. Oh wait, hold on. All right. Pero di ba nung ano the length of AD if you go back here, no? Okay, actually these show us ito, the length of AE is R times the length of AB, which is C. And this tells us that the length of AD is S times the length of side AC, which is B. Okay. So nung AD, SB ang pamalit natin nun. Okay. SB 1 minus S, and then plus pamalit natin sa AE RC 1 minus R. I haven't written down E and D yet, pero sa ilalim it would be the sum. SB 1 minus S plus RC 1 minus R. Hindi na lang natin napapalitan E and D, but I remember ito yun E and D are respectively RB and SC. So uppercase ng points. Okay, lava. Okay. I don't know if there is something that can be simplified. Well, I see nung SR. Oh, well, okay, that's G. Okay, I hope, sige, so far, ito nung G in lava. S, R, and then B, 1 minus S point B, plus, from the second term, we can also factor out SR. C, 1 minus R, vertex C. Quite promising kasi at least naman nung numerator ng vector F kapareho. So it feels, hopefully the algebra works out. Kasi nga lang nung denominator, I was hoping
It doesn't look very
friendly, no?
it's like the mold in your bread.
Oh. So here we have, okay, R and then C times 1 minus R plus S and then B times 1 minus S. So this is G. Pero sige, anyway, kunin na natin ng GF. Okay. So this is so colorful. GF will be F minus GF, so F minus G, which is, because you've missed us doing this.
No. Why
Yes.
out of all times?
Okay, ha ha ha. And then, ito, not just in one color, but
Ano po, ano,
many other nice
what,
colors.
5 seconds before ending the meeting. Copy paste because there was no copy paste this meeting.
Of course, we haven't done copy paste fairly recently, so I'm sorry it took me a long time. This is my opportunity to rectify the situation because I know this brings you joy. Okay. So minus. Okay. Grabe, parang pang ilang problem pa lang natin to. Pero anyway, meron pang isang vector operation ng cross multiplication. Okay. So at least nung ito kasi bracketed, fortunately, we won't have to deal so much with this kasi we can factor that out. Buti na lang. Okay. But instead of writing it down, of course, that's not what we're gonna do.
Why? Why not?
For the sake of efficiency.
Efficiency po is ano parang yung naka-mascara yun is under a white book of laziness.
That's my excuse. Under the veneer of efficiency. Or but in other words, okay. And ayaw na magsulat. All right. Tapos yun na naging blue.
Yan
All
po,
right. So we have
yan po yung smite of the smite of the heavenly beings.
pero ito I think mas mabilis kung sulat ko na lang. Plus B 1 minus S and then minus SR.
Punish for
R,
your actions po. So now you have to write longer longer
I think mas mabilis kung isusulat ko na lang. Okay, so ito, so C 1 minus R plus B 1 minus S. So that's the first. And here's the second. Oh gosh, I'm really hoping this works out nicely. Kasi I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yet it's become already in a quintic equation. I think we can still make this.
Oh, okay. Look, RC 1 minus R plus SB 1 minus S.
Oh, I see it.
Kita mo, so minus. So ito nung S times RC 1 minus R. And then minus R SB 1 minus S. Okay, so ayun. Nice. So of course different colors. So ito pag i-combine natin.
Colorful equals happy po.
Actually, doon na lang sa next. Doon na lang sa next kasi isusulat ko naman. So, okay, fine. B, 1 minus SB plus C, 1 minus RC. And then what we can combine are, ito, highlighter naman. RC and 1 minus R. There's going to be a factor of 1 minus S. So 1 minus S and then RC 1 minus R. And then followed by ito nung unahin natin. Ito naman. Oh wait, actually nung SB 1 minus S. So plus 1 minus R SB 1 minus S. And then, so the two expressions inside the braces. But at least dito sa numerator, we see this becomes, okay, 1 minus S, 1 minus R, and then RC plus SB. Oh crap. All right. It's parang walang magka-cancel sa
Meron pa mga cancel, just wait for the next 20 lines.
next 20 lines. Okay, so we have, but the thing is, lahat ito constants na lang. So ito lang talaga dun vector side eh. Ito lang talaga ng may vector. So ngayon, if we want to compare with AI, it doesn't matter what scalar is along with AI. Basta, saan makita natin itong vector part na to? Inside the brackets. So, ito kasi, this entire thing, scalar lang to eh.
If the scalar po is ugly.
Okay. Ugly scalar.
Ay.
Ugly scalar. Okay. Now, I realized, okay, I is the in center. What would have helped us is, ito, hindi ko natuloy ng kanina, pero remember how, actually ganito, I know, para usapan natin, ikaw nung tatapos, pero, hey, look here, this is the median, sorry, the centroid in vector form. 1/3 A plus B plus C. The fact that it's symmetric is appropriate because it shows us that nung G as the intersection of the median from A and the median from B, parang dapat nasa median din siya from C. Kasi if you look at how it's written down, perfectly balanced eh, nung rows ng A, B, and C. So imposible na nung G nasa median from A and nasa median from B and then suddenly wala siya sa median from C. So the equal weights here show us that well, G is gonna be parang the same ang status niya as far as the vertices A, B, and C are concerned. Now, we were trying to describe the in-center I. Tapos ito, nung AF, so ganito I'm gonna have to continue this below because what we want is a way to characterize the in-center. Okay, nung AF, so anyway, there are other statements, there are other problems that you can try. Pero ito, kailangan gawin natin. Okay, we want a replacement for A, the length of AF.
Para po pala ma-solve to, kailangan mo-solve yung isa.
So yeah. So nung current, so i-solve natin to para lang meron tayong expression for the in-center. So ito, AF, so AF over B equals BF over BF over A. Okay. There's a expression for the length of AF. Pero ito, andito ng BF eh. So let's express these as itong AF proportional to B. So B sub N. And nung BF, A sub N. So let's figure out what N would be. Pero kasi, the sum of these would be C. So ibig sabihin, AN plus BN equals C. So N is C over A plus B. So ibig sabihin, AF, which is BN, is BC over A plus B. So yun yung replacement natin dito. BC over A plus B. Also here. But then remember, itong F, pwede natin siyang palitan nito. All right, so let's do it here dito sa right. Kasi may space naman pala. B, and then F is A big A plus B small b over A plus B plus nung AF length BC over A plus B and then vector C over, ito scalar na lang, B plus, and then the length of AF is BC over A plus B. Let's clear the ugly denominators. Both numerator and denominator, multiply natin by A plus B para lang mag-clear ng factors. But then observe that all the terms in the numerator and denominator have a factor of B, which you can cancel out. So what then are we gonna get? Tignan natin. Okay. So now, so we're expecting nung expression natin, this would be for the in-center, dapat ng status ng coefficients ng vectors A, B, and C should be symmetric, balance, para equal status. Okay. So let's see. I try to decide what color. Orange naman. So colorful. So we're gonna get A big A plus B small b plus C point C over A plus B plus C. This is the in-center. Okay, so kumbaga, for the in-center, you're putting a weight to vertex A. The weight niya is this. Ayan ang weight niya. And then to vertex B, so B over nung part niya. And then for vertex C, C over A plus B plus C. Basically, the denominator would be the perimeter, and then beside each vector corresponding to a point would be the length of the side corresponding to that point. So by side would be the opposite. So this is the in-center. So back to here. Actually, no I from okay an earlier exercise. Okay, the in-center is A plus B plus C over A plus B plus C. But remember, A is the origin. So this would be B big B plus C vertex C, and then A plus B plus C. Wait, hold on.
Sus.
Hindi sila proportional pa. Unless, okay, yikes. Ibig sabihin, baka mali ng algebra. Tan, 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 tan.
Wala pa yung isa.
Oh. Pero dito, nung in center, so ito siya well established to. So if there's a mistake, it must be with GF. Kasi ito, parang merong nasingit na 1 minus S and 1 minus R, which we feel dapat wala sana sila. Wala dapat sila.
Baka kailangan po i-solve yung isa rin problem.
Hindi na kasi ito na. So how about, you have a copy, no? Can you look na lang for, Can you look na lang for the mistake? Kasi I feel algebra mistake lang to eh.
The algebra mistake po needs to be fixed by solving two other.
Other algebra mistakes. So look for the algebra mistake.
Ano po na yung yung game po yung hahanapin yung mistake.
In this geometry problem using combinatorics and number theory.
No!
Mm.
Using my knowledge of Fermat primes. I have ruled.
mga walang kinalaman eh, no?
I have ruled the decision that this geometry problem has 69 errors.
Mga walang kinalaman. Ay, kasi meron tinitignan na problem. Okay. In the remaining time, let me at least get started with the cross product. Am I right? You've encountered the cross product in your physics class?
Apo.
All right. Okay. So, ngayon, we've been talking about vectors in two-dimensional space or three-dimensional space, or even conceptually in four-dimensional space. Mangyayari lang naman, there will be 4 components or 5 components if we are in five-dimensional space. However, the cross products, a cross product can only be taken for vectors in R3, in three-dimensional space.
Why?
Huh?
Why not for 4 dimensions po?
It's because of the specific definition that was provided for it. I suspect because, and I say I only suspect because I didn't look into the history of it, but I suspect it's because our reality is three-dimensional and there was a need to build up a mathematics that would cater to vectors in our three-dimensional reality. So maybe one day cross products maybe it can be shown cross products are a special kind of vector product, and then cross product is just the special case in 3 dimensions.
Why don't we generalize it for cross products to be applicable to any dimension?
Well, the thing is you can always come up with I don't know, maybe somebody has, but maybe it just hasn't had enough traction for people to use it well enough. But the thing is, I'm not familiar. Okay. Pero ganito, I'm curious, when cross products were defined for you, Joshua, how was it done exactly? Nung computation, was it in terms of determinants?
Opo. Yung
Okay.
ABCD.
A, B, so nung magsusulat ng nung I, J, K?
Opo.
Have we already talked about I, J, K, or you're already familiar with them anyway?
Opo, yung unit vectors ng XYZ.
So, all right, nung 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay, so let's say we have vector A with components A1.
Circumflex yung ginamit mo nila, yung hat na symbol.
No hat na symbol? Actually, I don't know nung A ganun, no, and B nung ganun.
Opo.
I actually don't know. I kind of remember encountering that from physics classes in college. There's some math classes kasi syempre fina-follow namin nung nasa math textbook, so it's arrowhead. But actually, in math textbooks, bold-faced talaga siya.
Hmm,
Bold-faced siya.
opo. Nakikita ko nga po sa iba, wala pong, yung mga hot-hatted po, mostly sa physics and chemistry, and computational science po. Yung boldface sa mga textbook. Tapos yung vector sa mga number theory po.
Oh, okay. Parang, I don't know bakit kanya-kanyang standard. Anyway, the cross product is written nga I, J, K. So you write that A1, A2, A3, and then B1, B2, B3. And then the computation is done like this.
Ay,
So
yung minus, ano po, yung I, tapos ang determinant of A2, A3, B2, B3 po,
so
masama.
sunong ganito, no?
Opo.
And then minus J, all right, from A1,
Something of minors po or something.
all right, and then vector K nung so bale what we're writing down here are the components except for the middle component it's the component really is the negative of this 2 by 2 determinant. Okay, the last is A1, A2.
How could someone possibly discover this po? Do they actively search for it? Parang,
Parang nung ganitong computation, no? Parang kasi define siya in a specific way. Wait, is that your question? Why was the cross product defined this way?
hindi po. How did they know that the determinant of, like,
How did they discover the determinant method?
no po.
Or kasi hindi naman talaga ito ng definition eh. Nung definition niya, meron the cross product is something 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 in terms of the A sub i's and B sub i's, and then theorem. You know what? It's actually this is equal to nung in terms of 2 by 2 determinants. So whoever discovered the determinant, or maybe there's a reason, I don't know the history of that.
Mm.
Okay. Pero yung mga properties of the cross product, what was it? Halimbawa, vector A cross vector B. Is it the same as vector B cross vector A?
Commutativity.
Yeah. Is cross multiplication commutative? Not sure.
Parang I remember po na wait, may isa po dyan na ano eh, there is something in cross product that is something blank commutative.
Okay, anti-commutative.
Where that product is different on the stance of commutativity.
Okay, so nung dot product commutative, A dot B is the same as B dot A. Okay? Pero kasi mangyayari, if you look at, halimbawa, itong determinant na to, this will be A2 B3 minus A3 B2, di ba? That's how that's computed, di ba?
Opo.
Now, if we were to find the cross product B cross A, mangyayari, nung second row and the third row, they would be switched. Which means, in the 2 by 2 determinant, we're going to see alongside vector I, it's going to be B2, B3, and then A2, A3. And then when you evaluate that 2 by 2 determinant, it's going to be A3, B2 minus A2, B3. If you're going to compare these 2 by 2 determinants, mangyayari, nung mga rows nila will be switched. It has the effect of switching the major and minor diagonals. And that's why the values, while they're going to use the same terms, they're going to have the products switched, different orders. but subtraction is not commutative. And so if you're going to look at these corresponding components, they are going to be negatives of each other. So that means B cross A and A cross B, their first components are going to be negatives of each other. Same with the middle component and same with the third component. So what's going to happen is that A cross B in general is not the same as B cross A, but instead A cross B is going to be the negative of B cross A. So the takeaway here is that if you're looking at the cross product and you switch the order of the two factors, it's going to give you something different, but not too different. The only thing that you have to adjust is the insertion of an extra negative symbol. And so in this case, we say that cross multiplication is anti-commutative.
Yes. Ito pala yung anti-commutative. Sasabihin ko nga po sana eh. Parang there is an anti-commutativity. What is is it related to this behavior po?
So sa cross product, ano yan, so cross multiplication is anti-commutative. So sulat natin some properties of cross.
Sort of it is commutative, but then the other one is negative.
Okay. Meron pang ibang operations in mathematics between different objects. I can't remember, but the fact that there is such a term means that there are other operations which are also anti-commutative, not with vectors, pero other fields of mathematics.
Then why does semi-perimeter po have a name if it only uses Heron's formula?
No, actually, I suppose you can use the word semi-perimeter for any polygon. It's just that wala masyadong pinagagamitan.
Ano po, terminology?
Alright, so number 1. Okay, A cross B is the negative of B cross A. And then number 2, if you have a scalar, C, and then multiplied to A, and then you're taking the cross product with B. So the thing is, you can worry first with A cross B, and then in the end, just multiply by C. And so also, if you decide to move the scalar C to B, that's also okay. Then they're all going to be equal. Number 3, we also have the distributive property. Ito, A cross B plus C equals A cross B plus A cross C. But observe that because you don't have commutativity, we have to be careful about the order. So here on the left side, A appears before either B or C from left to right. So therefore here on the right side, we should see A on the left compared to B and C. And then number 4, the other distributive property, A plus B, and then cross C equals A cross C plus B cross C. Now, how are these things proved? We already have an idea behind statement number 1, but the proof
extremely hard matrix algebra po.
Yeah, proof would be tedious algebra.
Why? Ano po yun po yung
mga... But we're not gonna do it anymore. Parang gagawin mo nung A, write it as...
Kala ko po gagawin.
No, okay? Kaya tedious algebra, tas nung B, write it as B1, B2, B3, and then expand the left side, expand the right side, compare, and see that they're equal, and that's the proof.
Ano po? This is very easy. It's only algebra. Also,
yeah,
tapos naman po, teacher.
Algebra with 3 pages.
Ano po, teacher proves gives all four properties to prove.
Oh, okay. 2, 3, and 5 tell us that we can do lots of algebraic manipulations when cross products are involved in the same way that we are, let's say, multiplying binomials. So halimbawa, if we have A plus B and then cross C plus D, then we could treat this, we can handle this similarly like we're multiplying two binomials. But then, of course, A and B will appear to the left of C or D. So yun lang, basta keep the left to right order. Number 5 is specific to vectors. Parang wala siyang corresponding property for, say, when you're multiplying binomials. But that's because we are mixing dot and cross multiplication. A dot B cross C turns out it's going to be equal to A, B, and C, written still in the same order from left to right, but with cross and dot switch with each other. Now, in case you're asking, am I not going to put parentheses somewhere there? I could, actually, between A and B. Pero kasi, if we were to put parentheses here between B and C, would this even make sense?
A cross times the dot product. No, because the dot product is scalar, so there is no cross product between vectors.
Right. So, kumbaga, even if we don't put parentheses, there is only one way that this is going to make sense, which is that you take the cross product first. On the right side, A cross B, and on the left side, B cross C. Okay. And then there's a question of, okay, is dati kasi, okay, dot multiplication is commutative, but I don't know if I asked you, is dot multiplication commutative? Have I asked you this before? Like, are the left and right sides going to be equal to each other?
Should be po.
Should be? Think again. Is the left side equal to the right side?
Can this associative po?
Is the left equal to the right side?
Should. Okay, so kung BC.
What is B dot C?
BC cosine angle. Ito naman, cosine angle.
Is that a vector or a scalar?
Scalar. Okay. So scalar, the vector scalar. Scalar vector.
Doesn't make sense, di ba? Kasi this is dot product.
Okay. So ano ba there so it's like forbidden forbidden.
Yeah. Okay. Which means the question of associativity for dot multiplication doesn't even make sense.
All
right. But if we were to replace everything by cross, the left and right sides would not make sense. Because B cross C, that's going to be a vector. And so you're still taking the cross product of two vectors. So the question dito is cross multiplication associative? I'm going to give an example next time because we're going to wrap up. But at least let me just finish the listing down of the properties. But this thing, A cross, B cross C, so there's going to be a vector. It's equal to the following. A dot C, B minus A dot B multiplied to C. The things inside the parentheses, they're scalars. So about that's 2, then that's twice the vector C. So that's just scalar multiplication. All right. And then we'll pick things up from here and solve other, discuss properties of the cross product.
Assignment ko po ngayon is do all of the tedious for algebra.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But what would be instructive is at least not 2, 3, 4, nung 5. But don't do the nung mga try. Meron nung, di ba, meron tayo sinulat na ano nung in nice colorful letters. Yan, no?
Mga fun po na mga problems.
Oh, yeah, nung mga try problems. All right. So that's it for today.
Thank you po, sir.
Thanks, RJ and Joshua. Bye-bye.
Okay
Have a
po.
nice weekend po.
You too.